What's up, YouTube? Mark Ayala here. Haven't made a video in a little bit. I've been going through some things, just some changes in life, some disappointments that I'm working through. But yeah, so once upon a time, there was this young kid. He was about 5 years old. He was at the babysitter's house, playing in the backyard, running through the grass, playing with the dog. And this little boy was just exploring around the backyard, and he sees on the ground like a little fly, something he's never seen before. So out of curiosity, he walks up to it. He's all, "Hey, little fly." He reaches down to pet it. Little boy starts screaming and crying, tears pouring out of his eyes. The babysitter came running out of the house. "What happened, mijo? What happened?" And this little boy just is crying. "A fly bit me." And then the babysitter was like, "Oh, it must have been a bee." So this boy, he goes on to be a young man. So he's working in this summer job. He had that traumatic experience, so he's always kind of been afraid of bees, swatting them away when he sees them. But he really loved this summer job. He got to work in the mountains, hiking, clearing out trails, working as a big team, just really cool things. It was like he was camping. He absolutely loved his summer job. One day they went up, it's about a 2-mile hike, walking up this big giant mountain, and they get to the section where they had to do the work. So there was this giant tree stump. So the job for the day was for everyone to get their picks and hack it out of the ground. So there they are, this big group of kids in a big circle around this big, massive, giant tree stump. So all of them are hacking away, just hacking. And before you know it, this young man hears a voice, "Bees!" Before he got the opportunity to even react, a swarm of wasps started attacking him. They flew underneath his hard hat, in between the collar of his shirt, and just everyone scattered, running for their lives. So this young man takes off running and swatting the bees away. Boom, collapses to the ground. This young man goes on to be an adult. He's married, he has children, and he never got over that fear of bees. He always had in the back of his mind, and he was always cautious whenever he saw bees. So he takes his family to a trip to the beach. They drove about 3 hours to get there. And they finally were there. The kids, they were all in the beach, walking through the sand, running to the water, then running out when the waves came. And they went for a walk. They're walking along the shoreline, just enjoying the beautiful day at the beach. Out of nowhere, he feels this sharp pain on his toe. He screams, "Ah!" Lifts up his leg, and he's holding his foot. His wife's all, "What happened? What happened?" He looks down at his toe, and there's a stinger poking out of it. And then he sees the little bee taking its last breath on the ground. And he goes, I got stung by a bee." And his wife was like, Where, let me see." She gets down on her knees, pulls the little stinger out, and his foot is just throbbing. Boom, boom, boom. Just all this intense pain came upon him. He starts thinking in his mind all these negative thoughts. He starts remembering everything from when he was a child and he got stung by a bee. He remembers that moment where he thought he was gonna die when he got attacked by wasps when he was working in the forest. He remembers all these bad things that happened to him. So his mind starts racing. He starts thinking the worst. This trip is ruined. It's over. I just brought my family 3 hours and now we gotta leave. I don't know if I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. I don't know if I'm gonna have a bad reaction. I don't know if this is gonna be like that time when he was in the forest. He was thinking like, what's gonna happen to me? This video is going to be about perception. This is something that took me many years to figure out. And it's kind of funny that I'm talking about this right now because I'm going through some situations in life, some things that I know are very unfair. And I know I could switch my perception like that and just give it a different meaning. But I think part of me chooses not to. I want to sit with this pain. I want to go through my emotions. I want to feel this for a little while because I feel like if I go through this, I'm going to heal a lot better. And there's a lot of wisdom to learn from things when you're done wrong. But I'm going to give an example. Back in 2017, I went to my first seminar, Tony Robbins. I was truck driver 15 years, hating it. Like, I hated my job so badly. So I come back with this new mentality, fired up from the event, feeling so positive. I could do anything I want now. So I look on Craigslist. I find this solar guy. He didn't say his name was coming. He didn't say anything. He's just like looking for hiring people. Give me a call. So I called this guy. He was an older man. I went and met him at Starbucks. He interviewed me, hired me on the spot. So I was happy. I told my wife, new life is coming. You know, it's finally here. Change is here. It's going to happen. So I go out with this guy. Him and some other guy would pick me up every morning. They pick me up at my house, take me out knocking. They taught me how to knock. You know, I got to learn a little bit, you know, how to give a pitch, enough just to like hopefully set an appointment. And the agreement was whoever knocks on a door gets that commission. So I'm here knocking with the other guy that's kind of just watching me. I knock on this house, and it was just one of those situations where the man was like, yeah, solar, I want solar. He's all, matter of fact, my mom wants to get solar too. So I was like, oh my God, what a blessing. I went with this older man. We closed the deal. I just made my first $12,000. Like, I went from barely clearing $700 a week to all of a sudden in 1 week I made $12,000. I was so excited. I was with my wife, so happy, babe. I did it. Tears of joy, all that stuff. So Monday comes around. I'm waiting outside, and this man never comes to pick me up. Him and the other guy that I was working with doesn't show up. So I'm calling them, nothing. Second day comes around, nobody picks me up. They're not answering the phone. So I go to the other guy's house that I was working with this older man. Nobody answered the door. I left a note in his mailbox. Hey, what's going on, man? Give me a call. Never heard from him. So after the third day, I knew what happened. He ripped me off. He stole my commission, and there was really nothing that I could do. There was no paperwork. There was nothing. It's just basically some dude I found on Craigslist. So, as you can imagine, I was so crushed. I mean, just crushed emotionally, spiritually, just angry to the core. I was so pissed. And I told my wife, I got to get out of the house, man. Let's go for a walk. So we go to the park and we're walking. And at that moment, that was the first time that I did this. Something clicked. And I stopped my wife from talking about, wait a minute. This is not a bad thing. You know, because of this situation, I learned how to knock doors. I'm confident now. Like, if I was able to do that, I could do it again. And I said, I bet you I can get hired by any company now. Because I was just feeling, I got that Tony Robbins back in me. I could do anything. Sure enough, we go home, get on Craigslist again, found another company. The guy was, oh, maybe we could set something up. And I insisted, no, I really need this opportunity. I'm ready. I want it. So I convinced them to meet me at a different Starbucks. And he hires me on the spot. So that was the moment that I knew that I could change the meaning, because nothing really has meaning except the meaning that we give it. Everybody's going to perceive things in a different way. But the funny thing about that story, when I started here working at this company, that guy that was there knocking with me kind of ripped me off too, because I'm sure they went and split it. But he was working right there where I was working. That's a whole nother story. There was another instant where, like, for example, this is one thing I noticed, and it was completely me in the beginning. Every sales rep that I've encountered has their own limiting beliefs, like we all do. One of the main things I hear a lot is, my neighborhood's saturated, too many people knock here. People are rude in this neighborhood. Everybody's a jerk around here. People don't like solar here. The reason I know these things are not necessarily true is because I took a brand new guy when not that long ago, and I saw me in him. He's kind of like this guy, didn't look like he really fit the part. I know he got judged by a lot of people. I heard comments from other people, this guy ain't gonna make it. So I felt for him. I was like, man, that was me when I started. I couldn't get anybody to knock with me. So I took him under my wing. He didn't know anything about solar. I let him watch me for 1 week, and I was just getting accounts left and right, setting up accounts, making it look easy. And I kept telling him, you see how easy it is? Do you see that this job is not as complicated as people make it? And he was like, yeah. So the next week comes around, I started letting him knock on his own. And it was just absolutely amazing. I was watching myself at the door. He was this new man, full of confidence. You see, he was brand new. This doesn't always work with people that have been around for a while, but this works for brand new minds. They don't have all these limiting beliefs that everybody tell them. I convinced them that same-day closes are a normal thing. I convinced them that this job is easy. And because I was able to give him that perception, that became his reality. So this works for everything. As long as you're able to change that meaning, it's going to feel like fake, like you're lying. But in this life, we have to look for the good. We have to turn a negative into a positive no matter what. Yeah, it is some really shitty things happen, but we have to change the meaning. Like today, for example, one of my installations got canceled. I was upset, but someone else got the installation, someone else got my place. So my wife said, well, you don't know, maybe this other person was really hurting for money and they just got blessed because you lost out on your installation. I thought that was a really cool way to look at things. So back to the story. This man that got stung at the beach, that was walking with his kids, he got all these memories of being stung as when he was a child, when he got attacked and almost killed by bees. He had all these fears in him. But that day, something clicked in his mind, and he looks at his wife, and they both said at the same time, what does this mean? So he pulls out his phone, Google, what is the spiritual meaning of a bee sting? And at first, he got a bunch of negative, replies. There was some articles that said you could have trouble breathing, you could possibly die, allergic reactions. But he kept scrolling. He kept scrolling, looking for something else. And he runs into this article. And it said that the ancients believed that a bee sting meant health, prosperity, that the universe loves you and it injected you with love and it wants you to heal from all your trauma, from all the bad things that have happened to you in life. And he's reading it there with his wife, and both of them just are pouring tears of gratitude. His whole physiology changed. He no longer felt the pain, but he was crying because he was so grateful that this little bee, all by itself, chose him out of everyone in the beach to sting so that he can heal him. The ultimate sacrifice. This bee gave his life for him. When this young man was in the forest running for his life, he collapsed. They had to carry him, hike him down a couple miles down the mountain to get him help. He felt like he was gonna die. He realized how strong he was. This little boy that reached down thinking he was gonna pet a fly, he found out what a bee was. In that very moment, that was his first experience feeling tremendous pain, feeling tremendous fear of the unknown. That was his first bad experience that he can remember. Just a little kid, 5 years old, reaches down and gets stung. Innocent thing that he thought he was doing caused him the worst pain. And I find it so ironic that the very thing that taught me pain and fear was the very thing that set my mind free. That was me on the beach with my family. That was me in the forest. I was scared my whole life of bees. Be at a barbecue, oh shit, I'd be running from the bees. Always scared of these tiny little bees. And now I absolutely love bees. I even got this candle holder. I used to have a garden with my wife, and we would go out there and just look at all the little bees on the flowers. Like, I have this really close relationship with bees now. Like, I could be somewhere and they'll literally fly on my forehead or on my arms, and it doesn't bother me. Like, I love bees. So, an important lesson in life, everything is perception. And like I said, I'm going through some shit right now. Like, I'm upset. And I know I can change it, but I think for once in my life, I want to sit with this pain. You know, I feel like I did a lot. I poured my love and my efforts into something, and I really feel like I got crapped on by a lot of people. And that's okay. I want to feel this. You know, people on the sidelines thinking that I fell off, but no, I'm just resting. I'm recuperating. And I'm getting my mind right because I learned a lot this year about people and how important it is to just guard your heart, guard your mind from, there's a lot of negativity out there. And this is such a valuable lesson because I know I'm a leader. I can't see myself just being, you know, a regular guy. Like, no, I'm going to do something big in my life. I already know it. It's my destiny. But I just wanted to share this. This is my view on perception. It doesn't matter what happens. You got to believe that everything is happening for the better. It may take time, but there's wisdom to be learned in every obstacle, every pain, every defeat. Everything that makes you sad is only strengthening you. It's everything that holds you back is only meant to propel you forward. I mean, you just have to tell yourself and you have to believe it. But don't forget to get my book and journal if you're a door-to-door rep. It's an amazing book. It's called Solar Sales Mastery. It's available on Amazon. I haven't set up my YouTube to where I can put any links yet. But that's it. Hopefully I'll be able to keep up with some more content. Like I said, I'm brand new to this. Just going through a few setbacks right now. But I'll be on track soon. But have a blessed day, everyone.